Last story is Chris Jericho states that AEW defied the odds to become a crucial competitor and alternative to WWE. He was quoted as saying, "We didn't even have TV at the time. Just my boss, Tony Khan, had a lot of passion and he had the money for it. We had a roster of guys that I felt could do something. And then when I got involved, we were able to get on TBS and then kind of went from there," said Jericho. Man, that's such an egotistical statement. I mean, I don't, there's such a better way to phrase that. I'm going to admit I didn't see the whole interview, so this could be completely pulled out of context, but just judging that one quote, I don't love the way that's said. I think that this is a little bit of an oversimplification of what happened in the formation of AEW. And this is why people like myself get turned off when AEW wrestlers and Tony Khan start talking. I will be the first to admit, AEW has done a solid job as a alternate niche to WWE. You carved out your little corner of the IWC and you created a product that there was definitely a need for. AEW is something that's needed, and I think it makes, at the end of the day, it makes WWE better. But let's not pretend like creating AEW was this long shot that you want it to feel like, right? In this quote, you failed to mention Cody Rhodes' name, which I think is just asinine. Like, Cody Rhodes had nothing to do with that company being successful. And then you go on to say that your boss had money. He had all the money. He has all the money in the world, and he also has the backing of his father. And I imagine that being owners of an NFL team gives you ties to television networks and ways to open doors that most other people just can't open. It is okay for somebody in AEW to just come out and say, we're proud of what we've done. You know, we are where we are. We've had highs and lows, and we're proud of what we've done. It's not okay to make it sound like you were just a little indie company that popped up out of nowhere and you've accomplished so much. Look, if Elon Musk wanted to start a fast food company, having no experience, he has enough money to bully his way into that business. Number one, he can hire away executives that know what they're doing, and they'll have him up and running quicker than somebody who just has an idea to sell hamburgers. That's reality. When you have deep pockets, you're not playing the same game as most startup companies. Getting Chris Jericho was a good grab, but it's kind of the same thing as getting Edge. Let's not pretend it's something it's not, and that WWE was dying to re-sign these guys. Let's not pretend that TNA didn't have a run on the same level as AEW, 10 or 15 years ago. I think lots of people like to act like when you have a new startup wrestling company that this is a disadvantage. When the reality to me is when you have something new, it gets a certain amount of curiosity and viewership just because there are no expectations. When I jumped back in to the pool of watching wrestling like 3 years ago, I gravitated towards AEW at first. I thought, damn, this is a fresh product. It's so different. I saw guys that I used to love from the Attitude Era, like Christian and Jericho, and I saw Miro, and I thought, this looks cool. And it took 3 months for me to realize, oh, it's a clusterfuck. This has a lot of potential, but they keep doing weird shit. They keep putting people I've never heard of on the TV. They keep telling me about these dream matches that I have no fucking context for. And so the problem isn't being a startup. The problem is having longevity. How do you fare when the guys start to retire? When some of the gas tank gets low? When guys start to get unhappy? How do you bounce back when you start losing free agent battles? When the ratings drop a little bit? And so far, it looks like they're not doing a good job of bouncing back. And instead of just being humble and taking the L's, because there's L's. Every company has L's. WWE's had L's. But instead of taking those L's, AEW and the IWC, they double down and they say all kinds of crazy shit. Like if you talk to IWC people now, they tell you, we never liked Cody Rhodes. That's bullshit. They tell you Jade Cargill can't wrestle. Well, that's bullshit. It's that mentality that drives away your most marketable superstars. I think that if AEW, instead of talking about being a competitor to WWE, started pushing the narrative that they are comfortable where they are and that they are okay being a niche product, they would have more success. The problem is that WB doesn't want to hear things like that. Sponsors don't want to hear things like that. And while Tony Khan can say his pockets are deep, he's still in the business of making money. And he doesn't like when the optics look bad. All of these images coming out of the hard camera side at AEW, they don't look good. I don't care what the TV ratings are. I don't care how much of an impact ticket sales actually have on the business. The fact of the matter is it doesn't look good. So if I'm AEW, book smaller venues. Perception is everything. You can call yourself an alternative, but when the optics show otherwise, you're not convincing anybody. The honeymoon period is over for AEW, and that's hard for the IWC to accept. Now you have real decisions to make. If you keep poking the bear that is WWE and trying to call yourself competition, they're going to do what they did with NXT, and they're going to bring the humble to you. Yeah, you can say what the fuck you want about them bringing John Cena and The Undertaker back, but they have that ability. They have the ability to put their foot on your throat whenever they feel like it. That's not a victory. You're not competing. They're allowing you to survive right now. And instead of being humble and playing nice and becoming a niche IWC indie product, you continue to fight back. You need to embrace that you have a different audience, and that's okay. I think that you could have people who cross over if you just shut up. I think that you talk about tribalism in professional wrestling. I think it's AEW that breeds that. It's the IWC that breeds that. And then they want to throw their hands up and say, why can't we all just be friends? Well, no, you guys started that. And now that times are hard, you guys don't want to have those real conversations. And instead of just saying, look, the WWE is great, we want to be that third tier product, you guys, you get all pissy. And it's the things like Tony Khan coming out and saying, we're not here to take every person who gets dropped by WWE. That's not who we are. Instead of saying that, how about just saying something like, hey, we're fortunate to be able to utilize the talent that WWE doesn't have creative plans for. That's just more elegant. It just doesn't start a pissing competition. Right now, AEW is not in competition with WWE. Let's be honest. They're in competition with NXT. And AEW doesn't want to be a developmental brand. And you guys can keep screaming all you want that NXT is the third brand of WWE, but you're playing semantics with words. It's the developmental brand of WWE. We can call it a third brand. If that makes y'all happy, it's the third brand that is the developmental brand of WWE. It literally takes place in a building called the Performance Center. It is literally the first stop for new wrestlers to the company. It would be like calling college football an alternative pro league to the NFL. Everyone in the NXT has an aspiration to get called up to Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. Everybody on NXT has aspirations to make the money that guys on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown are making. Nobody is an NXT lifer. Nobody wants to be on NXT for their entire career. Just like no college football player wants to be in college any longer than they have to be. AEW needs to solidify itself as a third brand in wrestling and be comfortable in that spot. Stop booking large arenas. Stop trying to set records. Stop trying to change the optics. You guys, you can scream how impressive it is, but every time we see those pictures, we know what's really going on. And here's a truth bomb for IWC and AEW fans. If you took Triple H and you gave him the AEW roster and Tony Khan's money, he would compete with WWE on a higher level than AEW does right now. And that is all I have for you this week. Make sure to watch the Casual Wrestling Podcast that comes on every Thursday night. The Champ and the Chick that post every Monday. The SmackDown Post Show that post every Saturday. Hit the like button. Share this episode with somebody you know. Casual Wrestling merch is available on casualwrestling.com. Check that out. And until next time, keep it casual, my friends. I'm tapping out.